have put me in this throne, on this chair, in the stead of my father David, who was a great king, won so many battles, stabilized Israel. These people are your people. They are not my people. They are not even my father's people. They are your people. They are a great people. If we can pull out their greatness will show. No matter the people we have around me when we lead, even if they're a band of hooligans and slum dwellers and criminals and crooks, if we can press the right buttons, if we can strategize with them, if we can give them a preferred future, give them a timeline and model it for them, chances are the greatness and the good in every person will come out, because God never created any of us to be a failure, to be a criminal, to be at the bottom. God embedded in us, in our being, the seed of greatness, and we must know how to bring it out. So when you are great, it's not because you are better. You are not born to be great. Somebody gave you a chance. And so King Solomon said to God, you have done all this for me. Now I am sitting on the throne. Who am I? I am but a young boy. I do not even know how to go in and come out. I don't understand the dynamics of royal protocol and diplomacy and how to speak and all that. So give me three things or two things. One, give me a large heart. Give me an understanding heart. I like to call it an accommodating heart, where in leadership you take a lot of nonsense. You take the undermining, you take the disloyalty, you take the fanaticism, you take those who are scheming because of what they can get, those who are stabbing you while they are smiling, those who say we will be with you forever but they are lying. You take it all, because it's not them as it is you, the leader. I like what a great preacher said, and it's become one of my maxims in my life. He said a leader is like somebody that was called to drive a bus from point A to point B. In the Gambia, let's say from Banjul to Banjul International Airport, which is not in Banjul, by the way, if you're a non-Gambian, it's in Yundu. And so you are driving this 14-mile journey. Now, on the pathway and the journey from Banjul, let's say the arch, to the airport, because it's a bus, some people will come on, and you might think they are going all the way to the airport. Some people will get off. Some people you might see running and flagging you, driver, 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 don't leave me. And they're running and they're sweating. And you apply your air brakes and you're sure that this person is going with me to the last point. And they're coming down at the next stop. Now, you don't get upset because they made you go every 2 stops. You are stopping, you are starting, you are pumping your air brakes, the hydraulic, you are trafficating, you are turning this big steering, you're getting upset. Your own responsibility, as that preacher said, is to drive the bus in accordance with he who gave you the mandate, the instructions, the direction, the vocation, the calling, the skills, the training, and elevated you to that position. Drive the bus. Whether people get on or people get off, you drive the bus. So to do that means you have an accommodating heart. You need, I need, we all need, in any form of leadership, an accommodating heart. Let's take the educational system, for example. You know, I know many years ago when I was a young boy in school, we had the A stream and the B stream. Some schools even went to the C and the D stream. I think that was very lacking in motivation. That's my personal view. Very lacking in motivation for any student, because life is not for the A's against the B's and the C's against the D's. Because life has now shown that sometimes the people that run the world economically, financially, were the people we call the C students in the world. And they, because of their entrepreneurial skills, have employed the A students for their brain. And I'm told the B students all work for the governments of the world. So the people that run the show were the C students, the Richard Bransons, the Bill Gates, the people who were told that they do not have a business plan to make life. And yet they employ the people who taught the business plan. So you need an accommodating heart. You need largeness of heart to take everything. Sometimes people can tell you that we are sworn loyal people to you, and you can see through them. Sometimes it's because they do not know the amount of pressure that comes with the responsibility that you give to them. They are not able to handle it, and they cower under pressure. In the Bible, Jesus Christ had one man like that. His name was Peter. And Peter swore and said, I will be with you. Even if everybody leaves you, I am loyal. If you're looking for loyalty, that's my name. And Jesus smiled and told him, before the cock crows 2 times tomorrow morning, you would have denied me not once, not twice, but 3 times. You will be looking at me and telling people you don't know me, you have never known me, because you don't understand how they will come upon you to do something to destroy your life. And so King Solomon asked for largeness of heart. He asked for an understanding heart, and he asked for wisdom, and God gave it to him. Then last week we also looked in the New Testament of the Bible, the first of the 4 Gospels, Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. The first one is Matthew. Matthew was one of the disciples of Jesus Christ, so he gave his account, like how a reporter will give an account of a business trip or maybe a presidential tour. They give an account from their perspective. And so when you read the 4 Gospels, you have like a surround sound stereo effect. Matthew's account, Luke's miraculous account, Mark's account, and John's account. And these 4 accounts give you the richer picture of everything, because some of them have the same stories, some have other stories that somebody else forgot to recount, either because of his focus. Now, in Matthew's Gospel, chapter 20, as Jesus Christ was walking and teaching his disciples, preparing them and mentoring them, something happened. One of the disciples, they were brothers, James and John. Jesus Christ had 12. You remember Judas, Matthew the tax collector. Many people were there. There were these brothers. One was called James, the other was called John. Their father's name in the Bible was Zebedee. So for them to be alive, they had a mother. So one day, as Jesus Christ was doing what he was doing, the mother of these 2 young disciples came and asked Jesus quietly, because you can never tell what's in people's hearts. There's people who come to talk to you quietly. Sometimes they come at night. She said, Lord, I have a request to ask you. And Jesus said, go ahead. He said, can you grant me this favor, that in your eternal kingdom in heaven, grant to me that my 2 boys are well placed, one on your right hand and one on your left hand. At that point, Mama Zebedee did not think about Thomas. He didn't think about Judas. She was saying that these are not my children. If their mother don't want to connect them for life, that's their problem. Me, I'm going to connect my children. I'm going to talk for my sons, talk for my daughter. And in some ways, that's commendable for a mother to do and a father. What was non-commendable was that she sneaked to talk about it, because sometimes we can all be saying we belong to a cause, then somebody is undermining for their own selfish gain and not telling everybody else. It's like how you can be friends in a school and you're taking a math exam and one of you stumbles across a past question paper and you keep quiet, you're all laughing, chatting, eating the ebe, doing the ground soup, eating the neningunja, eating the kaba, and this one just sneaks away and goes to do it because he or she doesn't want to share, so that it becomes everybody winning and everybody passing. Because friends, what you are is who you are. What God has made of you is what you are. People try to steal from you, but all they steal is what they can see. And what they can see is smaller than what is inside of you. So sometimes this greed and hiding, we should just be relaxed and let it be a win-win for everybody. And I know you may be saying that, Pastor Forbes, you don't know how wicked people can be. So must people's wickedness make you also wicked? I don't think so. Then their attitude controls your lifestyle. Then they can determine and dictate the pace of your life, your blood pressure, how nice and happy you can be by how they behave. But if you are free, delivered, and released from that kind of behavior, then you can do. Because after all, it's God that gives grace. And the Bible puts it this way, that God causes his rain to fall on the righteous and the unrighteous. God causes his sun to shine on the righteous and the unrighteous. So you can't say because the man is wicked, God should cut his own amount of sunlight and give you, and because the man is evil or the woman is evil, God should cut her rain and give you. God is God. The people that you hate, God loves them. The same God that loves you loves them too. The people that you think are bad, God loves them too, because you did not create them. God created them. And you have mistakes, shortcomings, blind spots, as they do. You have false